All right, radio check. Are we live? Are we doing this? Looks like we're about to break the 10,000. Um, we've gotten every resistance out of the way so far. Come on, there we go. Let's delete that alert. I wanted to get above 99.30 and we got it. That was my signal that we were going to break it, and we have done so. We are on Bitstamp version of Bitcoin. And if anybody's still around or at all around today on a Saturday afternoon, kudos. Welcome to the show. Rand Wolf, welcome to the white room. Cool. So let's see what we got going on. Drop down to a 10-minute, and yep, as soon as we broke here, actually we just see it. It was so we had basically bears would have had their stops just a little bit above here. So we start running up to it. As soon as we break it, we rip. And then this is the sort of action you would expect after a stops getting ran. So bears who were shorting had to cover their shorts. They did cover their shorts there, went long. So we got an artificial spike up there. And that's the last one left. There's only a 5-minute chart. You know, I normally like to work off a much larger time frame, but that's where we're at. So we should have some pretty violent action here. I don't know if anybody's joining me, but if not, we're just going to record it live. That way we can see how this thing works, how these key levels trade. It'll be interesting to watch, like a good document of history. All right, making another run. This is a 5-minute chart. Doesn't really, all that exciting. Hey, AT. Yep, I just got back from an afternoon jog, so we timed that perfectly good, sir. And we are about 2 hours away from candle close, the daily candle close, and the 12-hour, and a 4-hour, and an hourly, and a 60, and a 30, and a 20, and a 10, and a 5, and a 1. So that'll be always interesting and entertaining. Boy, I have got a lot of nuts to bolt and screw and tie. Moving into a new house. Be right back. Try not to break 10,000 while I'm gone, but if you do, enjoy. Okay, as we talked about earlier this morning, if you watched that other stream, you'll know that we're watching this to see the most violent moves on Bitcoin happen at the 10,000 level. This has done it 10 times in its history. And each time the minimum move was 3,000 points for that month. The minimum the average move was 5,500 points for the month, and the largest move was $10,000. So, or points or whatever. So we went from like 10,000 to 20,000 within a month, and within the month's candle. So we're up against that right now. That's the sort of fun we're doing. I need to do a timer. I'm cooking a steak. So I need to know that in 10 minutes to take it off. And within probably 5 minutes, I need to go flip it. Now, probably what's going to happen is all these other alts that are rocking right now, up 4% across the board, it seems, they're probably going to take a hit. Well, except Ethereum's not doing it. A lot of cash is going to come from those. And a lot of people trade the /BTC version of the crypto. So they could own ETH BTC, LTC BTC, EOS BTC, whatever it is. So they're going to be adversely affected. So understand who is their main. There's a lot of artificial shorts that don't realize that they're short. So we could get some. They're short because they're long some alt /BTC or some other token /BTC, meaning they're long like Ethereum and they're short Bitcoin in order to own the Ethereum. When Bitcoin gets rolling here, we're gonna have a pretty big rip, and that's gonna trigger a bunch of alerts and all sorts of chaos where people don't even actually realize that they are going to be affected by it. So we got some stealth out there. It may not be as I talked about earlier this morning with the mindset of the bears. That may not actually be that. It may just be that when Bitcoin starts ripping, other stuff starts dipping, and you get the effect that I'm referring to. Yeah. Nothing to see here just yet. Delicious steak waiting for me. Let's see what's up today. Right now that that's out of the way, basically, we're clear to break 10,000. It may happen, it may not. I just figured I would get live during the stream, so we could watch and talk about the violent candlesticks. I'm gonna the 5 minutes just to stock it. I've actually lightened my position right here because of the range and the volatility that comes from this. And you can get margin calls or whatever if you're trading it wacky. So I like to lighten up right around here. Not to the point that I'm going to miss out on a delicious move if it does happen, but to the point that if an adverse reaction happens, I'm not going to get margin call stopped. Always something you got to think about. I'm going to go flip my steak. Whole lots of nothing going on, I guess, huh? Pistol grip, pump on my lip at all time. Literally building a chair while we do this. I don't see much. Okay, yeah. So what we should be getting here is as we broke out of that high, right? Then we're going to have that immediate reaction, and then we're going to have the immediate fade. Since everybody's kind of waiting on this 10,000, we could have just trolled everybody. But most likely, what's going to happen is we're going to shoot up, fall down. You see this candle here, and then come back down again, and then we're going to potentially come back up here and give it another shot. This is what we need. Now we got a bunch of scared bulls, scared day traders at least. And a lot of this, the slash BTC altcoins, people are going to suddenly be like, let's have a look. Wow, nobody's trading it. Let's maybe Coinbase. Okay. So Coinbase has just been going steady down on Bitcoin going up ETH BTC, right? Let's go. And you're going to see you're going to see selling coming in on those other ones because people are going to get FOMO and they're going to want to be getting into the BTCs. 98.80 and see how that shoots up, and now we overcorrect and we start holding. So just kind of you're going to want to shake people out at these key levels. This is where volatility and emotion gets really high. So this is what's expected here. Panic selling, panic Just, I don't know if we're going to get 10,000. I want to sell at 10,000, but maybe I'll just sell here type stuff. Oh, and also most likely people are like logging on to Twitter or YouTube or something like that and hearing somebody put out bearish information or this hack or something's going to happen. Always news is going to happen right around this 10,000 level. That's very salacious and emotional filled because I mean, if you understand what you need to be doing here, which is being long, or at least that's what I'm doing, then all this crap that's going on right here is just information. Time to take my stake off. All right, stakes off. I am watching the game. Okay. Now we were going to want to see the 5-minute get back. This is a fairly bullish candle, even though it looks all ugly and bearish. You see how it's still holding that general area, but we have a big, like a bunch of buyers coming in here. Again, 5 minutes, it's not all that useful for me. I'm not trading off it. I'm just here watching the fireworks. I just flipped it to the 60-minute, which is a little more relevant to me. 10,000 is the dotted line up here. And just kind of keep it in perspective how volatile that candle was, but no big deal. So we got, so let me just, put these into context here. We're above this range, and this range holds support. So we've been banging around in this range, and what's interesting is we closed above this range. Time zone. Am I in the right time zone here? I'm not. Okay. So we got to close above the range this morning, and we've just been kind of testing it all day. This is our first move up. And that's getting thwarted. But we have taken out all stops. So anybody who was placing stops here and here, well, actually, that's not true. Now we have a new set of stops for maybe bears who just started to get short. Now, again, these are just traders. These are not, there's not like big institutional shorts or anything like that, especially on a Saturday. But, when we take this out, that may give us that rocket fuel to get above 10. And we may spend the next 12 hours or 24 or 36 or 72 hours banging around here and maybe even ripping down into there. But I'm tracking it. Actually, that's a key point I want to point out here is I'm not predicting when and how high and all that sort of stuff. What I'm actually talking about is probabilities, statistical probabilities of the outcome based on the price action. And because of that, I have a guess that it's going to happen. I don't know when, I don't know how. All I know is that when this gets taken out, because shorts were short here, and once this got taken out, we had that spike, and now we have that recovery. If you do the day trading stuff with me, you see that I'm always talking about this is, that's the sort of stuff that fuels bigger rallies, because but you need bears to be short and to get stopped out to help buy, and you need buyers to think, oh crap, we're off to the races, I don't have any, I need to increase my position. That's what fuels these tradable rallies. So it's all about probable outcomes as opposed to the just drawing a line in the sand saying this is what it is. So I say the probability of a measured move to 21,335 is there. I'm not saying that it is going to 21,335 or to 36,990. I'm not saying that, or even above 10,000. Just probabilistically, if we start trending, we start moving, those are numbers we're going to see, and we'll probably have some tension around those numbers too. 20,000 is going to be a key emotional level if it does go there, as will 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Once we get above 15, then 20 becomes the next obvious one. And then once you get below 15, it's 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and 10 becomes like the biggest. So just a lot of emotion tied up in these key round numbers. Okay. I don't, I'm not ever recommending a broker or an exchange to trade. I never do that. First question, always. Congratulations, Tommy. You are just like everybody else who has a first question that comes out of their mouth everywhere, no matter if you've been in this game for 5 minutes or 50 years. What broker do you use? What exchange do you do? I'm not sure if that was your question. I don't recommend brokers, but if you look in the upper left-hand corner, I'm following Bitstamp. Okay, so clear to clarify, you're not the winner. Good job. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm using Bitstamp. I use the reason I'm using Bitstamp is because on the longer term, it's telling it goes back to 2011 on charts. So when I do this stuff, when I do the analysis that I did this morning, you can see I can go all the way back. And we went back this morning and started from very first candle. We went through every single month. And why? Because it's the longest exchange to go back. That's why. So I can use any of them. I ended up on that one because um, it's the one I'm interested in because it goes back. But Gemini is usually pretty good as well. They have a lot of volume. But same thing, we traded above the high. You can find I trade off of all of them. If I'm trading on an exchange, a certain exchange, I'll use that price quote. So if I'm trading off Gemini, I'll use Gemini. If I'm trading Coinbase, if I'm trading off Coinbase, I'll use Coinbase. Kraken, which is XBT USD. But basically the same thing. It's just that when you look at how far back one goes, when I was doing long-term analysis, that's why I was looking at that. And so I just fell on Bitstamp today. I'm already in positions and I'm not this micro movements. I'm not really worried about. We're just watching this for fun. This is just fireworks for me. I'm already positioned. I'm not going to be shorting or anything here. And I'm trading off longer term time frames. So even if we go below 7,000, that doesn't matter to me. Because I wait for the bar close, right? So what's my trade? I got long on the double bottom down here off the 3-day chart. Down in here, so high 72.25 is pretty much where I got long on the I got 72.25. I got long down in there, and then so that was pretty much just rode this move. This was the second place to get long. This pullback. Any shorts that fail, pretty much were were signals to add to the position. And then personally, as we come into this big $10,000 number, which you say you missed the noon video, you should definitely watch because it shows the importance of what 10,000 is and why we are paying attention to it so closely today. More importantly, at the end of the month, but that'll be the most important is the end of the month close on that. I'm long Bitcoin, the coin itself, not futures. $98.85. Okay, let's get back to 60-minute. See if that's nothing interesting there. Yeah, you should go back if you're interested in trading Bitcoin or just trading in general. I went back and I spent 2 hours looking at Bitcoin from 2011 to today, and what all the price action, what was happening, what was important, and we harvested out some really interesting information about average moves, average monthly moves on a $10,000 price month. And what the average is, what the minimum to expect is, what the maximum so far has been, but most importantly, the characteristics of what happens at 10,000 and why it's going to be so crazy volatile when we finally break through 10,000. You're going to have a lot of people looking to take profits at 10,000, so that's going to have a lot of volatility. There's literally a bunch of orders that people bought the beginning of the year, and they're just like, I'll put a limit order to sell at 10,000, or they bought at 5,000, they bought at 1,000. Anywhere, they just put a limit order to sell at 10,000 if it ever gets back. Especially people who have been hurt. And we are down to boredom again. Again, like I was saying, this whole kerfuffle was all just from blasting past this guy. Once we got past that high, stops were triggered. So shorts had to buy to cover. And then the elasticity bounced back. And then here we are, kind of like right where we were. So we're going to make another move here. Now we have a new stop above 99.4875. You get above that, and that's going to start telling people, okay, we're running. So who knows how we're going to do this, if it's going to even happen today. This may just be it, and we may turn back down to 3,000. The probability in my scenario is that we go higher, but if we don't, I have a plan. Yeah, no, I when I trade Bitcoin or crypto, I trade actually off of the 12-hour or 24-hour or 3-day chart. I don't actually trade low time frames. The only reason I have 5 or 10-minute or any 60-minute chart up on crypto is just because I'm here for the lulls. I'm here for the fireworks at the moment. I've already like none of my crypto. It's all of my crypto is long swing trading, not long, but longer term swing trading. No day trading. So I run portfolios at on much longer monthly time frames, weekly time frames, daily time frames, 3-day time frames on crypto, 12-hour, and then on for the lowest on crypto. Lowest time frame I actually trade off of is a 12-hour, 720-minute, and when I every currencies is 24 hours, everything is 24-hour charts except when I'm day trading futures. And if I'm day trading futures, I trade off of 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 60, 240. It's mostly what I'm comfortable because it's all the same. It is literally all the same. On 5-minute is the same as a daily. It's just that the daily it takes you only get one update per day, whereas on a 5-minute you get 12 per hour. So you get a whole lot more decisions to be made on a shorter time frame. But you can do more velocity. But when we're talking about this on Bitcoin, I'm a long-term position in this stuff. I'm not looking to trade off of the 10-minute. That's why I brought up the daily chart back here of, or sorry, it wasn't off the daily, it was off the 3-day chart. It was off 3-day chart that I went long Bitcoin back at the end of December. Because it's the double bottom pattern. You see it. You see we spiked low and we put in another low that reversed. It's the same pattern we'll see on the 5 or 10-minute when I day trade. Same thing. We got a reversal, and then you could call that a head and shoulders reversal bottom, maybe, if you want. But for me, it was that complex double bottom that got me long, and then probably added in there somewhere. Certainly, I know I added off that hammer, and then I ate some pain, of course, but can't be perfect on your entries. So 60-minute candle, we broke out above that line, broke out, came back and repositioned, and now we're looking to take the stops out of the bear stops next. Watching this on an hourly chart because I feel that I see, I'm not trading on a 5-minute at all, on 10-minute, anything less than 12 hours on crypto. This is just me monitoring. I'm just here for the fireworks. Yeah, no problem. Buyers are coming in strong. It's a nice little hammer. 13 minutes. 13, almost 14 minutes to close the candle, which is kind of nice because we got that consolidation. We can do a couple more of these consolidations before we rip, but it's looking hostile at the moment. Office. So I got my couch, I got my chair. There is a coffee table sitting there that needs to be built. It's one of those flip-up ones, so I can like bring my laptop up to it when I'm not not ready. I got my TV, which I'm going to then put together my TV stand, which is in the living room. I need to bring that in, put the TV on that, and then I got this frosted glass whiteboard right there that is laying against the wall. I need to mount that on the wall. So it's not complete. All the items are here. And the couch we're waiting on is we had it custom made. That's for let's call that the living room. I guess over there we have a living room, which right now it just has a big massive love sack, like the huge love sack. Wife cannot get rid of that thing. Surprisingly, it's not me. And the living room or the front room, I don't know if I want to call it front room because it's kind of the reception front area, and then that bleeds into the dining room, which bleeds into kind of this island area, which then leads into the kitchen. Kind of all this big, almost like a great room, I guess, maybe. I don't know how you would say that sort of thing. So we've got a couch and two chairs in there. We're waiting on a console for behind the couch, coffee table, uh, side table, but most importantly, which I just love my wife for this, we have a bar. We got a bar we're putting together, and it's super cool. Gonna texturize the wall. Got like this buffet, I think they're called buffets. for the bar table, and then we're going to get these floating chair or shelves and across the top with wine racks and some cool lighting. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. Outside of that, guest bedroom's good. My son's room is not at all. It's just boxes of gifts that everybody sent us. And let's see, the master's huge, which I don't love. I think that's a waste to have such an awesome or such a large room. But you know, especially because all I do is sleep in there. I don't spend any time in there other than when I'm asleep. So it's kind of a waste. So we still need to get like a chest for the bed for like blanket. I sleep in a separate blanket than me and my wife sleep side by side. We sleep in the same bed, but we use different blankets. We learned that on a Europe trip. It was awesome. As soon as we did that, I was like, oh, we can each have our own blanket. That is so genius. Then you're not fighting for who gets one or the other. Let's see. We got a chair, like kind of like a reading chair we're gonna put in there. And then it's mostly just artwork. We have an artist we have an artist in the family. My cousin is a sculptor and tattoo artist. Not my cousin, her cousin, my married cousin. So he's gonna do some metal art for us, bend some metal or weld some metal for us. He's got some pretty cool pieces and mentioned by Calgary, city of Calgary and whatnot. Then another friend of ours, he's an artist in Miami, and he's those Winwood types. He's got a big custom painting he's doing for our wall back behind the main couch in let's call it the drinking room. Near the bar, the living room, the front room, the dining room, the big cool spot. And then she's got some photos that she's having framed from our travels the last couple of years. And otherwise, I think that's about it. I'm putting in a wine cellar here in the office. So just like building shelves for that. So anyway, my desk is complete. Desk 1, desk 2, monitors. I have one more laptop coming. And then, yeah, I guess the place is complete. What else should we talk about for the hour or whatever we're sitting here watching paint dry? And yeah, thanks. It's yeah, Tommy and AT. Yeah, thanks. It is a chill open floor plan, and it's an amazing house. We saw this house and we were just, this is it. Basically, they showed us 4 houses that day. We had been quantifying our choices, scoring them on a spreadsheet and whatever from Zillow or wherever we were doing it. And so we were able to narrow down our what we were actually after. And so by the time we flew into Arizona, we had 4 that our realtor was showing us. And second one was the house that scored highest quantitatively on our spreadsheet. And then when we walked in the house, it was a done deal. Actually, it was the third house we saw. The second house was kind of was in the best neighborhood that we were, like a really chill neighborhood. Like block party sort of cool neighbors where you walk to some of the best restaurants and yoga and gyms and all that stuff. But the house just wasn't. I don't know what it was. It was big in the sense that it was like a 4-bedroom, but it wasn't a 4-bed 4-bath like this. And it wasn't open. I don't know how to say it. It just didn't flow the right way we liked. And then it was grass, and we're in the desert here, and I don't want grass. And everybody who's from Phoenix is like huge fan. It was like such a big idea to have grass because they don't normally have it. And I grew up with grass, and I don't like taking care of it. I like just dirt, which is how this place is landscaped. AstroTurf and dirt. So I'll take it. All right, what else you guys want to talk about? AT, I do all sorts of different ways to cook my steak. Today I did it on the Traeger. Yeah, sous vide is unbelievable, man. Um, I'll do basically I'll just buy as many ribeyes as I can get in a good deal. Bag each one of them up in a Ziploc bag, put them in my freezer, and then I salt them and then I put them in my freezer. And I'll just pull one out every day, or or how many I'm going to eat during a day, and then let it come to you know let it defrost, and then I'll drop it in the sous vide and cook it for about an hour, and then I'll finish it. I got a torch to, or I throw it on the. I have a Weber charcoal grill, which is just amazing. Like cooking over charcoal, cooking over wood is so much better than cooking it over gas. The flavor is just unbelievable. So yeah, sous vide. So you don't even need to. You can test drive like a sous vide result if you want without having to buy the whole tool. So the way I did it is I just filled a pan, a big pan full of warm water. I get a meat thermometer and I check the temperature. I want it to be at about 130. And then I'll get a slotted either wood spoon or spatula and hang it over the top. And I'll drop the meat thermometer through the spatula. And so it's, in the water constantly. And then I'll drop, so it maintains the temperature. So then I'll put my sous vide bag in the water, airtight on the meat. And I just keep the setting on the stove so it keeps the temperature at 130 degrees. So usually that's like the lowest setting on your stove, whether you're using gas or electric or induction. And you'll figure out how to do it, because you may find you can only have like a half or a quarter of the pan on the heat in order to maintain, because maybe it runs too hot, or maybe you have to run it at 2 or 3 to keep it running. But you can do that for an hour, pull it out, and it's not going to look good. It's going to be like pink. So you're going to need to pat it dry and then sear it. You can sear it on the stove with a skillet and some butter. Butter baste it with some garlic and rosemary, or sear it over fire, which is what I like to do. But anyway, yeah, you don't need to buy a sous vide. You can literally you can do the technique without having to buy a tool for it. It's really, and the sous vide itself, I don't taste any difference between the quality of a sous vide machine that rotates the water and keeps it at exact temperature and doing a stovetop. So there's no difference there. It's just convenience. I don't actually take a single burner off of the stove. For Thanksgiving, I basically sous vide prime rib and turkey breast and a pheasant. I sous vide all of them, and then reverse sear is very similar to the sous vide. So basically, you would sous vide and then sear it. Exact same technique. It's just you're putting it in a bath at the exact internal temperature you want of your meat. Whereas with a reverse sear, you're to put it in at 200 degrees or 150 degrees or whatever it is, and just letting it sit in there for an hour or so. This, you're actually getting it to the 130 that you want pretty quickly, and then it just stays there. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm for a little jog this afternoon. Apparently, it's a little hay fevery. Yeah, do the stovetop and hit me up. Hit me on Twitter if you got questions on how to do it. Super easy. You can do a bunch of oh, what's up? Happy Punjabi. What's up, the Harrison? Well, thank you for liking and subscribing. But yeah, hit me up, AT, if you got questions on how to do it or anything. Post your questions, Happy. And you posted, I see them on Twitter. Put them in here so I can I'll address them. It's kind of funny. It's a Saturday afternoon, and I've got a bunch of people on the live stream watching paint dry, asking me about home decoration and sous vide. You guys are the best. Okay, so a move above here is a good place to enter if you're looking to trade this. Most likely what's going to happen is you're going to get a spike here, and that could be the fuel to get us above 10. Or we just keep doing this grind, and this grind until we finally break 10. 10's just going to be a wild time. It's just wild times. The only thing that would surprise me about breaking 10,000 is that it's just mild and nothing really happens. It just continues nice and high. That would be a surprise. At what point do I actually sell Bitcoin? When I trail stop. So when I get stopped out on a bar close below the low of my stop. So I don't have a price target. That was a question. What point will you actually sell Bitcoin? The next question, just like your entry points and double bottoms, I used a double bottom to enter on, but I use to trade crypto. I actually trade off of the 12-hour, the 1 day, and the 3 day, the weekly, and the 2 week. I don't trade off of intraday. Well, I'll trade off 12-hour, but I don't trade off of 10, 5, 10, 20, 60, 240 minutes. I just have that up for entertainment purposes. So this was my entry down in here on the 18th. It's the same pattern you guys see me doing all the time. So no big, I probably don't need to explain it too much. Got in, sat around, nothing happened, and then we took off. And then I added here, and then I ate a bunch of pain, of course, because you just never know. And then we are where we are today. All right, so next question. Oh, okay, hourly updated 10 minutes ago. I just realized this. I guess it did. I just didn't pay attention. So yeah, probably a move above on the Bitstamp quote, 99.35.6. We might, and then we're gonna have to fight with 99.48.9. Okay, next question was, you'll wait for a double top? No, I won't. The thing about it is, in an uptrend, in a bullish market, the best sell setups fail. So we've had numerous double tops, but we're in a strong bull trend. So every short setup fails, which is what gives you these nice rallies, because bears get very aggressive. They say, "Oh, this is a beautiful short setup, a double top, head and shoulder top, whatever." They'll come up with everything, and they'll pontificate about it on YouTube, Twitter, and just like, "Oh, it's the greatest top in the world. We're going to 1,000 or something," and then they get stopped out. And of course, what happens when you run their stops? You get a move like that. What are my thoughts on Ripple? I don't have any thoughts on Ripple. I think people don't understand Ripple. I'm not one of those like big haters of Ripple. Personally, I know that they reached out to me 2 years ago, and they were putting together an OTC desk, or they were putting together a desk so that they could deal directly with traders who needed size. And they, I asked them flat out, I was like, "So it's rumored you guys are just dumping Ripple on the market every month?" They're like, "Yeah, we do." And I was like, "Why is that?" It's like, "Well, because we're getting dollars for the Ripple or XRP." So let's clarify here. XRP is the token for Ripple. Ripple is the protocol that they're trying to, they're talking about being, or the technology that they're talking about being for transfers, ACH transfers. And they're doing good work there. Cool, good for them. I don't really have. I'm not going to hate on them, but I, I think a lot of people see the price of the headline price of XPD. Is it XPT? No. What was that? I forgot Ripple. XPD USD. No, that's Palladium. XRP USD. There we go. It's been a year or so, 2 years probably since I've traded or even looked at Ripple. The cool thing about it is it's marginable if you're on a margin exchange. The other cool thing about it is it's super cheap. So if you wanted to, at its highest, it got to $3.30, like at its absolute highest, 3.30. And you're trading at 20 cents, 27 cents. So you could make it, if it goes to its absolute highest and even doubles that and goes to 6, you can buy a whole lot more because the price is 27 cents. This is the logic that most people have behind Ripple when they're looking to trade it. It's a cheap cryptocurrency that is a big cap. So there's so much Ripple out on the market. Literally, it's one of the top 10, I believe, even though it's 27 cents. That tells you how much how much Ripple there actually is, or XRP there really is. So it looks like Ripple's participating in the whole rally just like everybody else. It's the exact same formation as we had here. It looks like we're, attempting, just like everything else, we're attempting to participate. Like I could do this. Ethereum's doing better, but the headline is it's $224 token. So you're paying, you can buy one Ethereum, but you could buy, 1,000 or 100. No, 1,000 XRP. The thing is this has a high price target of just one going to 1,400. And if you bought 1,000 Ripple, so you can buy $1,000 of this, and you'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You're gonna make big, just as big of money. All right, here's the thing. That's very true. And the returns are huge, but like you said, they keep dumping Ripple back into the market, and that keeps the value more stable. And you're just not going to rally. And that's kind of I think that's their point, is they're trying to be more of a stable coin, probably, or, in that realm. We're talking years ago that they came to the market before stable coins became all the rage. Gemini. Okay, so we're looking at the Gemini quote now on Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitstamp because I like that one. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe Coinbase is the way to go. Probably. So anyway, if you just want exposure to crypto, generally speaking, XRP is a good way to go. I prefer, I'm not political on any position. I'm a trader, so looking to trade the things that are giving me the best returns. And I just don't see Ripple XRP doing the sort of returns that you're going to get with, some of the other ones. Also, on some exchanges, if you're trading, you're going to get much bigger margin on Bitcoin than you're going to get on, I think, XRP. I don't quote me on it, but I think that's the case with. I think Bitcoin's the highest margin that they're going to give out, and then there's other ones that are just smaller. Interesting. I just got access to a futures platform. And the front month Bitcoin is trading at 99.13 at the moment, and we're at 99.10. Huh. Looks similar, but it's not. It's interesting. 99.34. I mean, just like every exchange. 99.55. God, I wish I could just have all this furniture put together. No matter how much you spend on furniture, whether you spend $200 on a sofa or 10 grand on a sofa, there's still assembly. It's funny. Of course, it's, yeah, you can have somebody come out and assemble it, and you're just like, I can do that. Because they're like, yeah, we'll be over there between 1 and 5 on Saturday or Monday, and you're just like, just deliver it, I'll do it myself. And then I sit there looking at the box. Yep. Happy Punjabi. Am I correct in assuming you're coming to us from India? I'm just, looking at your name. And maybe I am mispronouncing the Punjab. Let me look at the. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Punjab is state bordering Pakistan and India. Okay. Suddenly I was like, crap, am I off on that? Oh, you're in Boston. Ooh, that's cold. But such a cool city. Cool. Hey, it's a cool name, man. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never read that book, but my best recommended book is Super Trader by Dr. Van Tharp. So this is the one I recommend the most. I'm not saying that how I traded 2 million or whatever. I'm not saying that's not a good one, by the way. I just know that this book, Super Traders. Cool. Congrats. Yeah, I think uh, definitely swing trading end of day. That's how I really got myself out of trouble initially when I first started, and it's just been the way that I've continued to trade. It's my main. It's my main uh, business is swing trading. The day trading is just kind of fun. It's nice to make a couple bucks here, like a monthly income. Day trading, but swing trading is where the real, swing trading, the end of month stuff is the real money maker for the family. Congrats on the getting out on crypto and unfortunately getting back in. Happy. Louis Vuitton Don VG. Quite the name, Don. What's up, Louis? Should I call you Louis V? Should I call you Don VG? What's it? How's it going, my guy? It's going good, dude. Yeah, swing trading, Punjab. I mean, that's my main business is swing trading. So um, there you go. Okay, nothing seeing here. Let's go. Yeah, whatever. Just mildly entertaining. Not much going on. Everybody who's logging in and saying, "Hey, what is up?" Thought we were getting close to some action, but it doesn't look like the early session today where we went back and did like 10 years of analysis on Bitcoin. If you guys want to be really informed on how to look at this stuff and kind of get a master class on price action and what's all working there, that one's free. That's up on the YouTube. Have a look. probably as soon as I get done with the live stream, we'll break 10, hit 20, maybe 30, maybe 100K, maybe 2K. Mildly, if that, entertaining. All right. Well, I probably don't need to be sitting here. Doesn't look like we're going to get our, doesn't look like we're getting our move just yet. But the first video today, Bitcoin 10,000 reviewed, that was a masterpiece. If I do say so myself, if you haven't watched that, I would put up a chart of Bitcoin and then just sit there and watch along and track along, kind of go through it. That is a beast of a video. I think it was one of the best. As much as I want to sit here and hang out with you all, unless you guys got any more questions on stuff, I don't know. I may go build furniture. Probably gonna cook up some salmon. Um, gonna have a drink, and I guess get ready to pop that bubbly at 10,000, or maybe I don't know, drink an Alka Seltzer after it drops to 6,000. Any other questions? I'm gonna head out. False alarm. Good chatting with everybody. Love you all as always. Hey, thanks, AT. Yeah, I'm really proud of that one as far as what we did on Bitcoin, the work we did on Bitcoin. So share it out. You know, if you know other crypto people, kind of don't know what they're up against, and kind of want to have a bigger picture. You know, it's not day trading tactics. That's long term. It's real psychology, but it works day trading. It works swing trading. It works on all time frames. That sort of stuff. So don't get too caught up in the fact that the chart said 2 weeks and month and everything. All right, guys. See ya.